Yeah, let's just see. I'm listening to music, which is not music. Stop talking. Okay, how do I get the array size here? Let's first start with renaming array size. Well, I have the feeling can get a lot of these by looking for this. Hey, Vajik. I think I'm going to rename my array size to descriptor array size, because then I will not be confused by the other array size. Hello, low TV. I'm afraid I don't understand you. No, let's not compile yet. So I added the first line, which now reads descriptor array size, etc. And then let's change this one. Int descriptor update info. So that is then also descriptor array size. It's descriptor array size. Oh well, I copied it. Descriptor underscore. And then I have to type it again anyway, because now we have this one is also that, okay, so that's apparently descriptor underscore array size. Commented out, yeah. I don't think this is descriptor array size on second thought. So I'll tint it back to commented out uint. Now what is this returning? That is, in fact, this one. Okay, now I'm confused. Shader resource array size, or a shader resource is the base. Is it this one, or is it this one? Also a base. Shader resource of shader resource declaration. That is this one, but this is base either way. And then the base has an array size, a descriptor array size. Seriously? Yeah, why not? Well, I guess it is. Descriptor array size. Descriptor array size. Declaration. What is this? Shader resource declaration. So Vervias, either I may ask what code editor is that? Is NeoVim. What environment are you working on in general? I suppose, I'm just using a console as a terminal and then my own scripts, a lot of bash scripts and NeoVim as editor with my own syntax highlighting. And Hassel says, what exactly you working on? Well, I'm writing a Vulkan engine. It's in the description these days, below the video. Thought I just changed that. Apparently there's another one or something. Descriptor array size is just being passed. Okay. So step one was renaming array size to descriptor array size, so I can easier find it back. And the real objective is to make a link between where I set the array size and where I need it. I set the array size here. I thought of even renaming this one, of course, to set descriptor array size, but yeah, well, it's a member function on this thing, so decided not to do that. Now, you can follow it from two directions. This is what I usually do. You can follow it, of course, from here. Where does this to go to? And then where does it go to after that? And then after that, and then etc. Until I lose it. And we can follow it backwards from where I need it. And then hopefully somewhere you'll find a way to connect it to. And it might be very equivalent to the binding flags, which I did yesterday or the day before that. I did that also from two directions, and then I figured out how to connect it. But that went somewhere else, so especially the where this goes to is different, I think. So might not really be usable. But it is not unlikely that the beginning is equivalent. So when I go forward, I might want to follow the binding flags to see how that propagates through the code. But yeah, then when to stop following binding flags and go in another direction. So I think it is probably better to start with the target, the goal, the point where you have to go to, and then work backwards. So we'll recognize that point hopefully. Okay, so I need it at the point where currently I'm using foo. And I apparently use that in more places, but this is the one. So this is where I need a size. This 2 really needs to be the size somehow. And then of course fix more here, but I'm going to need the size of unbounded arrays used in descriptor sets at this point. And it's pretty obvious that we do not have that information, because the only thing that is being passed is the current frame resource index, which is just an integer. It's not relevant at all. And then I have here probably one descriptor set layout per frame resource. Oh no, it wouldn't. If that would have been, I would have used a vector, the capital V, and then passed that here as a second template argument. Okay, this is going to allocate descriptor sets. It's plural, and that's why there is a vector here. Let's say we need to allocate 7 descriptor sets. Then we're going to have 7 descriptor set layouts. And I guess then we also have 7 of these pairs, which is a pair of a set index and a boolean, where the boolean tells me if this is a frame resource or not. And we get the descriptor pool that we have to allocate from. Now, really absolutely only information that might allow me to get the array size of descriptor arrays in these sets is if I can look up information using the set index, which is again just an integer. But if I pass a certain the pointer to a certain object, I should be able to get a lot of information using this integer. I mean, it doesn't look like an integer, but the vector index is just a wrapper around the size type. So that's one. Although previous stream I already looked at that object, and I did not immediately see how I would be able to convert a set index, so it feels a bit doubtful, and it seems best to just go to the function that calls this and then see what information we have there, and then if we have it, say, then we could just pass it along as a new argument to this function. That's probably how it's going to be. So that's what I mean with backwards. I need it in this function, and now I'm going to see who is calling this. I don't know what this is, but it's not passing anything, so it's not the one that we are looking for. This is not the function you're looking for. got to keep practicing. But then which one is it? Well, that seems like the implementation and the debug output for entering that function. This is related to IMG. Let's fix that after the rest works. And this is then the declaration in the header. And that is, I don't know, so this must be the one that calls it. The only place it will. Yeah, I'm old. I hate it. I hate it too. Life goes faster and faster, also that. When you're a young teenager, you have the feeling that you lived forever. Just, if you try to remember things, and it just disappears in the mist. And thinking forward, it therefore looks as if that also is going to be infinite, because it's even longer than you have lived until then. Well, then there comes a moment where you look backwards and you think, oh, I'm past the half of my life. And I think it's especially because your memory goes down. The years going faster and faster and faster. I think that it's going to be in no time that I'm 10 years older. But what can you do? Okay, this is where it is being called, the only place where it is being called. And what is relevant here is mostly, I guess, where the descriptor set layout handles come from. Because those must have been created knowing if there is a descriptor array in use there, and if it is unbounded or not. Was that one? Wait, I don't know anymore. It's on this one. That is the second argument. So this. The question is, where does this come from? Because that comes from a place where we have the knowledge. We should have the knowledge there. Well, it's just an argument of this function. So then we have to look for who is calling this function, which is passing the missing descriptor set layouts, which is the vector of descriptor set layout handles that apparently we must allocate. It's called from two places, it looks like. And there's a debug output, definition, and these two are calls. And that's again a declaration. Very annoying. Two places. What can you do? I guess this is really at the end of the function, just before returning true. Yes. And then that's the one, right? 1, 2, 3, the fourth. Oh, it's immediately here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. And the other one is an interruption. That's being called here. Returning false. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's at least called the same thing. Missing descriptors layouts, and then also here. So then where does this come from? Well, we'll already see it as being filled here. It's, I guess, vector. Let's go to the top of the function and search for this. Here it is a vector, and here it is empty. So hey, and then it has to be filled somewhere, and not here. And here, and that's the only place. Well, it has to be. I don't see any other, so then this must jump to the top. Yeah, that's a for loop. So when you have the chance to call here whatever we do. So the missing descriptor set layouts are basically a copy from whatever this is. For a given set index. And then what is that? So I'm looking upwards. Well, this is just allocating an array of m sorted descriptor set layouts size, and then here it is filled. Well, apart from that, it is resorted. So we have a descriptor set layout of which has a hint, set index hint, and the hint is converted using the set index hint map to the real set index, and that is then used as the index into our vector to copy the handle into. So apart from this conversion here, the information basically comes from this descriptor set layout vector. And so far there is absolutely no descriptor array inside, because we're still dealing with handles. Or are we? Because this has a handle, but it also has a set index hint. Who knows? Maybe it has an array. Unlikely though. Well, it just doesn't, because it's a set. So a set is multiple descriptors, and only one of the descriptors can be a descriptor array. I definitely did not add any support for that yet. So the information is not there yet, but I could add it, like that. I could do descriptor set layout dot descriptors array size, and then add that array size function. But that will be propagating the information forward. Let's first go backwards and find where that information even is, where I actually already have it. Oh, it's actually declared here, and it's an element of the sorted descriptor set layouts thing. Let's see where we get that from. That was probably already defined. There's a size here. We just entered this function. Let's see it mentioned here as well or not. No, sorted descriptor set layouts. Okay, I read the comment anyway. This function is called after realized descriptor set layouts, which means that the binding values in the elements of set layout sorted bindings and flags of each set layout in sorted descriptor set layouts is already finalized. Yeah, I guess that this vector contains set layout. Well, let's see what the type is. It is this type, which is this type, which is a vector of set layout. Yes. And I guess it's already finalized. So basically, if we are early enough with adding the information that I need to the set layout object, then we should have it here as well. But I'm going to look further backwards first to just find where this sorted descriptor set layouts comes from. Although we definitely have to keep in mind that whatever change we do must happen before calling update missing descriptor sets. Now let's first look this. I'm going to look for who calls this, and probably we'll have to add our information to sorted descriptor set layouts. Now, since I do not have any memory, I'm going to paste it in the chat. Now let me read the chat again. What error do you use? NeoVim is Vulkan. Is the Vulkan engine that you're making going to be used in tasks such as games, or do you have other plans for use of it? I have no plans for it yet. What interests me the most is actually. Well, at the moment, no, I don't know. Anything with a lot of graphics is possible, right? What font am I using? This Deja Vu Son Mono 16 point. Why do I not use visual code? Well, what is visual code? It's pretty visual to me, this code. So I was going to look for who's calling this, and then, yeah. This is the declaration. That must be the only line where it is being called, isn't it? Yeah, it's called from the pipeline factory task. Thank you, Jason. Well, the real answer is, of course, I'm not even on Windows. In fact, I never use Windows in my life. But yeah. One of these states is going to initialize my sorted stuff. It's not immediately apparent. Not from here anyway. Maybe I can go backwards, like this state is executed before that one. So I could go jump to this initialize shader resource per set index function, and then maybe look for the sort of descriptor set layouts. Nope, this is where it's being used. I'm going upwards because I try to put my code in the order that it is executed in, more or less. So it should be above this. What is this? Realize the script set layouts. Sort. Looks like here it is being sorted, so definitely this should be the place. Push back the descriptor set layout binding. That is finding if it already has that set index in. If not, it's just added to it. Otherwise, well, then after that we just insert the descriptor set layout binding to it, and then we have to resort that array apparently. So I would say, hey, binding flags. That was the other thing, right? So suddenly it looks like the binding flags follow the same route. Hold on. Yeah, why not? If I have my binding flags here, then I would say I'm going to follow it from the front till get to this point. And then we just add it to the set layout. Kind of confused though, because these are binding flags of the descriptor set, right? The array size is theoretically a size per descriptor, so the descriptor binding, descriptor set slash binding pair. Yeah, I don't think it can be that easy. I don't know how the binding flags got here, but if this is being called here, insert descriptor set layout binding, that is this function that does insert in sorted bindings and flags. Wait. Oh, this is the set layout. Okay, so this is one element of the vector that I need to put my information in. It has a hint, it has a single handle. And apparently, yeah, well, I have to admit that this seems like a logical place, because one descriptor set can only have one descriptor, one unbounded descriptor. If it is bounded, do I still need a size? I guess I don't. So at the moment we create this handle, we know if it contains a descriptor array that is unbounded. And I would say that should be part of the key. So this maybe should be called sorted bindings and flags and unbounded array size. Right, let's see. What is this? Okay, so theoretically, I would say that the size, if any, could be added here. That array size. But then exactly at which point would I add it? Wouldn't that be at the moment I do this insert? We set a binding flags. These are the binding flags. No, it's not. The descriptor set layout flags. Okay, I lost it again. I lost track. Set layout, yeah, it was. I had a feeling that it would be added to this, or I thought it had to be a member of this thing here, because that is apparently the key from which the ML was created. Okay, so then do I have? I think I have here vectors that are per descriptor. Right. Yeah, okay, I remember this again. Razor, yes. Okay, so theoretically I could be passing also an unbounded array size to this function if this is per descriptor, and then do something with it. Which is then still the binding flags thing here, being passed to, in this case, insert. If this is going to be, if this ends up in that vector, yeah, it does, yeah. On this line, it ends up in the vector, but, well, so that insert is being called here. So now the question is, who is calling this? Push back to descriptor set layout binding is calling it. Also binding flags. I'm gonna follow the binding flags now anyway, but then backwards still. So I think that there are might be very related indeed. So who's calling this? It comes from the shader resource declaration. Okay. Yeah, that might be it. That might be it. So the shader resource declaration is this class here. No, I don't see where the binding flags. The call to binding flags is just passed to the shader resource itself of that declaration, right? Yeah, that's the base class, which happens to have also binding flags, I guess. A virtual binding flags, yes. And it has a virtual descriptor array size. The connection has been made. That is Yeah, that must be the connection. So let's quit here and then run make ctags. And we run vi. So this virtual function is implemented, in combined image sampler here, as well as binding flags. And it returns descriptor array size, which is set here and here. No, not here. This is just a copy. Where's the thing set? It's not set. Exchange here. Yeah, set array size. Right, so we call set array size. If unbounded is true, then we negate it. So now size is negative. Then we exchange the value that is in descriptor array size, and we put in it the negative value. So now descriptor array size is negative. And then we call this function, which then returns a negative value. And that is being called from... I cannot jump back. What? I thought I was jumping through everything. Oh no. Huh? Well, must be able to find that back, but I'm really surprised. So, who is calling that again? Oh wait, yeah, no, not wait. Yeah, that's annoying. Okay, I don't know. I think I did it. I probably forgot everything I just said. So it just hoping that it will resurface in my memory when I see it again. I think that I'm going to follow now the binding flags in the forward direction. Because then at least I'm sure that the code exists. So we call set binding flags here on combined image sampler. That is stored also with an exchange in binding flags, which is read by calling binding flags. And I thought that was called in a function. We just pass it on. And should be able to find that back. So not this one. This one. Yeah. And we already have the twin brother for the descriptor array size here. So now I have to find the one that calls binding flags on the shader resource declaration. to change my music. Oh no, also talking. I cannot stand vocals, I cannot concentrate. I think this works. Okay. Yeah. You think this is it? I'm already setting it here. I just need to remember that it was negative, apparently. Okay, so now after the binding flags, I'm passing a boolean. That is true if I just added something that has a unbounded descriptor array. And that's pretty clear, right? Descriptor count is set to the absolute value. If this was negative, it's unbounded. Therefore, yeah. So this pushback now takes a boolean after the binding flags. To call like that, and I also have to add it to the declaration, pushback descriptor. And then that ends up in, yeah, here. And I'll just have to pass it on to that function, I guess. Follow the white binding flags. And should descriptor set layout binding. insert descriptor set layout binding. Yeah. Oh, this is already in line. We get this one, insert on so sorted bindings and flags. Yeah. I would say that we have to just accumulate it, but not really accumulate it because there is only one unbounded descriptor array size allowed. So I'm going to do like remember the thing, get rid of the ball. This is an OR, I guess. And then I have to add this to set layout bindings and flags. Yeah, I guess it is part of the key. So now I have to fix this whole clause to include it in the key, as it were. Let me see, there's a lot in common with that thing. So I'm going to need a accessor for it. That's it. And I think it should be part of whatever sorting is going on here. Move constructor, which is only moving the sorted bindings. Well, since it's not moving the descriptor set layout flags, I'm gonna guess that the move happens before we even initialize that. So that should be good. Oh, I have another one that does move it. Well, those are the binding flags. Yeah, still not the descriptor set layout create flags. Accessors. Even here, it's not used. Maybe it's not important. I don't know. Why? Hmm. Yeah, Razor asked, are you using 0+20? Yes. Um, and Nguyen asks, do you back up your code? Well, I push it to Git and I make daily backups of my hard disk anyway. Yeah, the compile time is pretty long. Yeah. Let me see. It compiles, but no changes, right? Still same validation errors, I think. Yeah, it's not even about validation errors. We had this foo here. We're going to search backwards again because I lost what I was doing. So I have this foo here. And it is inside this function that I need those things. And this is called from. I'll have to do the same thing as I did before, unfortunately. It's called from here. Which is, I guess, called from here. It says where it is called from. I can just jump here. Called from update missing descriptor sets. Yeah, not helping. I have to copy that, jump here, and then search for where we are calling it. Okay, there, oh, like that, yes. And then it's not even self-documentation really. I just think I can concentrate better if I have an audience. Well, I've explained things out loud. It helps a bit too much, I must say, because I should take breaks more often. But it definitely helps. Before this, I would do kind of a blog where I just was thinking out loud on Discord, typing in everything I was thinking and doing. But typing is a lot slower. And while in the beginning I had 11 people that were following me, after a year I had the feeling that nobody was really reading it anymore, if you get what I mean. I mean, of course, it gets tiresome. So I lost the motivation to type in that channel what I was doing because I felt like I was only typing to myself. And that's when I started to stream on YouTube. And I need water with bubbles in it. Well, who of the ones that watched my stream today has a good memory? I just went backwards. What was the function called where I met for the first time my binding flags? And then I said, oh, this is the point where you meet the binding flags. And then we went forward, and now I have it at the same place, and now I forgot indeed exactly like I predicted. I'll just have to do it again, which is really horrible. So allocate descriptor set is being called here, and that was the second argument that was important, which is the missing descriptor sets layout bedoel ik. Missing descriptor set layouts, which is passed to this function. So I need to know what that is being called from, and that is being called from here. And now we're talking about fourth, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So that it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. It's still called the same thing then. And that was filled here. At least I remember that one. So that is a copy of VHV descriptor set layouts, which is a copy here from descriptor set layout, which has a handle. That was the descriptor set layout, which is an element of M descriptor set layouts, which is a vector of set layout. And so I want to add to set layout the information that I need, and I think I just added that to set layout bindings and flags. Yeah, there it is. And I added a accessor for it, so now I can use Control T to jump backwards. Yay. Okay, so set layout must have access to binding flags, but also to my new thing. I don't see direct access here for binding flags. Oh, we just have direct access here to sorted bindings and flags. Sorted bindings and flags, yeah, that's being used probably. Descriptor set layout, descriptor set layout. Set index hint and handle, yeah. I've got it again, of course. Cannot remember anything, man. Set layout. That's the one. Sorted bindings and flags. Call that. And descriptor set layout flags. Eh? What? That's bullshit. I don't know why I typed it. Where did I get that from? I need this. No, I don't need that either. Jesus. Well, I want to call this, obviously. In order to get to that, I need access to. So the descriptor set layout is an element of this, which is set layout, which is here. I need the access to that thing. it as... No, I don't. Oh, I do. I'm so confused. I do. That was the wall. Okay, there is my boolean, yes. And now we need a new vector. The same set index as I mean it's exactly the same. I'm using a certain type for the index of my vectors. So it's a utils vector here. So we make a vector of booleans using the same index as this one. So that if I use index 3 for this one, then using index 3 for this one gives information that is correlated, that belongs together, I mean. It's 100% correlated. Now the size is going to be the same, and I'm going to call this one, well, has bounded array size, I guess. It's unbounded, I mean. So now in parallel to this vector, we have that vector, which keeps track of if this descriptor set has an unbounded descriptor array. As an option, I could put it in the same vector, of course, and then make a pair of standard script set layout handles and boolean. That would save us a call to malloc and stuff like that. Then I'm not sure if we do not really need an array of just the handles here. No, I'm feeling okay, not sick. Missing the descriptor set layouts. This is being copied to another vector again. Super annoying. See, that's the thing. We really need an array of these handles. You cannot alternate them with booleans or anything. So it just has to be a separate. vector, I'm afraid. Well, but then I also need to do that for the missing descriptor sets. Vector. Confused. I meant that one. Oh well, let's just do it. Okay, why is this thing called descriptor set layout and this one is still calling missing? I don't like that. Well, because I'm passing missing, and then it just suddenly renamed. Yeah, it's kind of logical. There's nothing missing anymore inside the allocated descriptor sets function. So let's just strip off the missing descriptor set. Oh no. Yeah, okay. Me and my boolean. I need the size, idiot. I should have then gone for the size instead of the boolean. Well, that's easy to fix, but very annoying. Very, very annoying. Okay, I think everywhere I used has unbounded descriptor array size. Just have to. Loads of stuff. Let's start with the headers. I have one header. .cxx. So I think this is two headers. Right, so we have to pass, I'm afraid, the actual size, array size. Well, I do really only have to pass it if it is negative. So maybe I should indeed pass this, let's say 0 or something. So I'm going to pass unbounded array size as an int32 type. And what shall we do? Shall I just pass the array size anyway? Just simply descriptor array size without unbounded, and then do the negative thing for the unbounded. The more information, the merrier, right? Just I don't know. That feels kind of silly, I have to admit, but so pass descriptor array size and just remove has unbounded. Yeah. So yeah, that's not possible. Now I'm an idiot again. I have to store. It must be an unbounded array. It cannot pass array sizes because we have only one array size per set. Fuck. Yeah, left editor, so it has been saved. Everything has been saved. Oh, not this, apparently. Victor, well, all of them. No declaration matches. Candidate. Completely missing. Okay, descriptor sets. Okay. No matching function for call to whatever. What's it trying to do here? Allocate descriptor sets. Yeah, just change it. Bum, 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 bum. So that is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 is here. Okay, I guess I recovered from this Boolean usage. But where was I left? Well, still this foo thing. So now I have an array with unbounded descriptor array size. An array vector, same thing. And what I do need is a vector of uint32. I'm going to scream now. Okay, we'll have to change it into uint32 then, because that's what it expects, right? Yeah. P descriptor counts uint. You know, I'll do that first. To turn this into uint. And then allocate descriptor sets. Uint. And then find who is calling this. That must be uint. So this must be uint. I don't know. Let's just let the compiler figure it out. Yeah, no way, that is compiling. No, no. Come on. What? Shocking. I added 2 places and suddenly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 places are changed it to. I didn't do that. Yeah. Get out the whip, Boss Bunny. If it was GPT-4, I would unplug it. What to do, 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 to do, to do, to do, to do, dubious X of Hector. Anything descriptor array size. Well, there's just one left, it seems. Apparently it has no problem with assigning an signed int to an unsigned int. Why? I'm going to make explicit that I'm happy with that. Because this thing is less than 0. I mean, do you think the compiler is so smart that since there is this if, it does not complain about assigning it? I doubt that. Anyway, that's the point where we went from signed to unsigned. Right. So basically my foo is now what I have, right? But yeah. Why am I right locking my pool here and then not using it until there? And why am I keeping it locked for a long time afterwards? Holy long time. It seems silly. I don't think I need to keep it locked longer than the call that is actually using it, which happens to be, I think, allocate descriptor sets. In other words, like that. But then don't have this anymore. Let's put that here. Yeah, it's just going to be moved. Allocate descriptor set returns a vector by value. So that then is an R value reference. Hence it will use the move assignment operator for the vector. Okay, anyway, yeah, I think that this kind of works, but I'm not happy about the fact that if there is no unbounded descriptor at all, then I don't need to set my P next. I read in the specs today that if this count is set to 0, then it has the same effect as setting the P next to 0. But I'm like passing the descriptor count and then the unbounded descriptor array size. Oh my god, is that even going to work? If I pass zeros for bounded arrays, what happens if one of the sets does not have an unbounded, I mean, I guess it's just going to ignore it, so I might as well set it to 0 then. Hopefully. But if all of them are 0, that's kind of silly to pass it then. I don't know how slow that is. Probably not slow, right? I mean, I guess my best option is, well, what the thing that I was doing with the binding flags is also, you know, like keep the vector empty. So I could keep this vector completely empty. If none of the descriptor set layouts here have descriptors with an unbound array size, and then anticipating on that working, I guess I can then do the following here. Yeah, this doesn't really cost any time. Okay. And then I still have to make sure that it stays empty. I like that much better for IMQ as well. I can just pass an empty vector instead of 0. That's described in the description. It's a Vulkan engine. Well, you know, in detail, I am adding support for descriptor arrays. Also almost done, I think. I just want to keep it empty. Not even sure if that is worth it, I have to admit. Is it worth keeping this vector empty? Is already a different function? No. Ah, this is okay. Yeah. You is not working. Oh, it is working. Only one descriptor per descriptor set can be an unbounded array. Yeah, I was afraid of that. That is extra work to get that to work, as it were. So I have two pipelines, and each has two descriptors. No, yeah. I guess it's not. It must be for a single pipeline, right? So if say I do um, 'see window h. So currently, the single pipeline, this is even a single shader, is using two arrays, and both are unbound. Now and it's probably trying to put them both in the same descriptor set, so that's not allowed. And it shouldn't try that because they are both unbound. But before I add that code, we can check that if I make one of them no longer an array. Let's say in both cases we change the bottom into a normal one. Zero is top. So I only set to an unbounded array for top and bottom not. Then we should not get this assert. So now we're talking user code, right? I changed 2 lines. Rather simple. Okay, that worked indeed. So there's the assert no longer firing, but I'm not really happy with this. Oh, it's the same thing, yeah. That's just because we have an array of size 2 and I'm not filling the second descriptor. I'm also not using it really. I think there's a way to suppress this validation error with a certain flag so it doesn't complain when you have a descriptor that you're not using. There is another way to get it to work. Obviously, I would say. Let's say if t is larger than 0, then we set the array. So now I'm not setting top, but I'm setting bottom 0 and bottom 1. As an array, and and no top no longer, then that also should work. I'm just only using index 0 of those arrays. So it's going to complain again that I didn't use or didn't define descriptor 1. Sorry, index 1. But it should still work, not assert. Yeah. And this is still the same thing, you know, index 1 is being used and not set. Okay. Finally, we could say set it always, but only make it unbound for in one case. So you could say if t equals 0, we make it an unbound array, and otherwise I make it a bounded array. So now it is an array, but there is still only one unbounded array. So that should work. And now both are arrays. But only top is unbound. Well, that's intentional, Post Bunny. The pipelines share one descriptor. Well, that's not possible, but they share one descriptor layout anyway. So yeah, that also worked. I think it's still same error. So I'm pretty happy. I think everything is just working perfectly, except that I did not add support for. So I can again do the other one, and now just, you know, now only bottom is unbound and top isn't. Okay, however, if I do this and I just say everything is unbound, then it did assert, and rightfully so. At least it is, because it is trying to put everything in one descriptor set. But I can tell it that I don't want that, and if I do that, then it should also work. Let's see, preference, I think, preference. To add my preference back. Let's see, what I have here is a 100%, so I force it. A preference for every combined image sampler, all three of them. That's really not doing anything. It's just preparing a set key preference for each three of them with a forcing weight. And then here I have to tell it that I do not want any of them to be in the same descriptor set, because, well, they are all three unbound descriptor arrays now. So, and see how I do that. So I have to add all three, but I have to tell it that it should not. Why is that red? Oh, so it's I think the first one is where I want to put it with. And wait, this is the call to add combined image sampler. Yeah, so I wanted to put together with that one, and I do want not to put it together with this one. So what we do is the first one that is preferred, I make that empty. And then the second one must have the key of both of the others, so it will not put it together. Which means that should put it there, whatever. So the 0 must give me a 1 and a 2. And let me think. It's simply +1 and +2 and a modulo 3. Yeah, so I0 cannot be together with 1 and 2, and 1 cannot be together with 2 and 0, and 2 cannot be together with 0 and 1. Hello, Daniel. Dang. It's not an assert. None of the descriptors can be together in the same descriptor set, yes. We are asserting here not, no, we're not asserting, right? This is segfault in line 330, which is not doing anything. I'm facing that I'm accessing an index 2 of a thing that is only size of 2. Yeah. Keep reference as a size of 3. I should not have changed it. I should have kept the old code as well, because I'll have to use git. The point, however, is that I should not use this. Roman, no. Post Bunny, I don't know. Did you invite Daniel? It is not replaced bottom one. Why not? Oh, good, Post Bunny. Why the hell would it not replace bottom one? That's like as if I didn't add this key at all. Yeah, this one worked. That's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, that actually worked. Yeah, see? Put it in a different set this time. And replace it with the actual name. And it is an unbound array. And it's using index 0. Everything perfect. So what is wrong with bottom one? I should take a break because pain in shoulders and stuff like that. I'm not moving enough, man. Just sitting here for hours and hours on end without moving. I hate it. I want to continue, but it's just not possible. I'll be back later. I'm going to do some exercises or something. Yeah. I hate it, really. Trust me. I'll be back. Oh, please. Yeah, Post Bunny. I would so like that.